Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this first Saturday in July, which means, and they haven't had much to say yet other than the first segment, is my two co-hosts here.
Well, I'm looking at my brother Darrell over there, still smoldering. He got a little bit too close to the fireworks.
Yeah, I can tell that right now. He's got one of the rockets.
Darrell and Del Show.
Yeah, that's Gene Smith and Dave Gabbard.
He
of
threw
course.
himself on a rocket.
Yeah,
Saved us.
They are in studio and along with our producer Greg Ratliff. But hey, we just coming off a great interview with a young man, Mark Daniels, coming off a big win in Pierre, South Dakota.
I meant to ask Mark if the wind blew up there.
The wind blows in Pierre, South Dakota.
It's like.
Yeah.
Somebody, on the plains is like, well, is the wind blowing? Well, did the sun come up?
It does that in Pierre. But, hey, it just worked out. Able to get Mark on thanks to the work of our good colleague, Ron Wong. And Ron is on the line right now as we interview another guy that's been on this show several times and also coming off a victory. And according to the BASS folks, this is the first time in its 50-year history that two African Americans have won back-to-back tournaments, and we got them on Outdoors with Larry Ray. How cool is that, man? So let's
right up there, the pinnacle of outdoor radio.
So let's bring in our good friend Ish Monroe. Good morning, Ish.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It is going great, and I know it's been going good for you coming off that win in the Bassmaster Elite Series, a regular season victory on the Mississippi River out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. First of all, congratulations to you for doing that. And at the same time, how cool is it to see a young man like Mark win? And then I know you have stood up, and a lot of people look up to you as we try to get more and more young kids involved in this sport. From your standpoint, what does it mean for Mark to win that tournament and then you to win your tournament?
Well, I mean, it means a lot. Because me and Mark actually fished team tournaments together.
I know it.
A long time ago. We were in the same bass club. We grew up kind of in the same area, the Urban Bay area. So it's pretty cool to have us win the event.
Well, I know for you, let's talk about your win early on the Mississippi River. Talk about that. And, Ron, you can kind of fill in there because I know that, hey, I'm talking to a guy that my dad was a car salesman. Ish Monroe's been one of my guys because it's good to talk to somebody that knows cars. Yeah. And then I grew up as a car. My dad's a car salesman. I was that before I went into this.
I bet you were kicking tires at 2 years old.
Oh, I was kicking more tires at 2 years old, buddy. I bet Ish was too. But talk about the win on the Mississippi River.
It was kind of a whirlwind experience. Season has not been the greatest to me. It's been up and down, back and forth, as usually most seasons go. But it was one of the deals where I started out, the first couple of days of practice fishing on a pool that I'd never fished before because I needed some fresh water.
Uh-huh.
And so the last day of practice, I came back up to Pool 8 and just wanted to check a couple of things that I, had some fish on it just to have a place to come back to. And all of a sudden, it's like, man, here's two really good spots. And so I was like, I got one spot that has a lot of fish in it and a couple of decent ones, and then I have a big fish spot. And, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that, is have a place where you can catch a decent limit and then have a place you can run to go catch, a kicker or two.
And
so I had that. And so I ran down trying to run to my first spot, and I actually end up on a sandbar.
What?
And my marshal,
really,
he weighed 350-plus pounds.
Come on.
Big guy.
Come on. A lot of sushi. A lot of sushi, okay?
Sushi.
Yeah, all right.
He was a great guy.
Uh-huh.
And after about a couple of minutes of frustration, I just jumped in the water and started pushing my boat off that sandbar. And it literally took me about an hour to get off that sandbar.
Oh my gosh. Really?
And see, the marshal can't get out of the boat.
Can't get out of the boat. He can't push. He can't help. He can't get on the trolling motor. He can do. The only thing he can do is move around the boat to,
and he's 300 pounds? He's over 300 pounds?
He's over 300 pounds.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so this is a lot of firepower just to get off that sand pile.
He's built like a football linebacker. If I would have had him out there pushing, we would have took us about 5 minutes to get off that sandbar.
All right,
once
you get off the sandbar, do you think, this is going to be some kind of tournament? I mean,
well, I thought my tournament was over when I was up on the sandbar.
Yeah,
because I didn't really think that I was going to get off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I dropped my trolling motor to actually put it on spot lock put my power poles down to kind of take a break because I was beat. I mean, I was like, man, I ain't got to go to the gym for at least 2 or 3 days after that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So I look over to my right, and I'm like, man, that looks kind of like the stuff that I've been fishing. And at this point in time, I've already missed the lock time. I got to go ahead and, find my way to my starting spot. And so I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to kind of fish my way there. And I immediately started catching them, and it actually took me almost all day to get to my starting spot.
My goodness.
Wow.
And by the time I got there, I actually culled a couple fish, and I had a decent limit in the boat, but I never got to make it to my big fish spot the first day because
Ish,
I just
I'll
ran out of
look up
time.
to you. Yeah, Ish, I'll look up to you as one of the finest frog fishermen on
Rod
this
knows
planet.
this. Yeah.
If not the best.
The frog man.
And talk to us about your frog and talk about your style and what makes you so confident in that one bait.
Well, it's the confidence in the bait and knowing what the bait can do.
Yeah.
You know, my frog by River to Sea, it's called the Fat Matt Daddy Frog.
That's it. The Fat Matt Daddy Frog.
A little bit wider and a little bit bigger frog.
I love the name. Ron, is that not one of my favorite names?
Well, I'm going to see Ish there at ICAST, and I'm going to go over to River to Sea, and we're going to get some pictures of Ish and the Fat Matt Daddy Frog.
You got to get that for me. I want to see that. And I know Ish, the way I understand, it was an emotional tournament for you. I think it was around Father's Day. You had a birthday. You and your dad were really close. You talk about your dad and everything as far as teaching you. And to win this tournament, I understand you got a little emotional, buddy. I mean,
it was one of them deals where, I was trying to get more people into fishing, and they asked me about kids and getting kids into fishing, and my dad got me into fishing, and me and my dad had actually just went fishing the week before.
Really? Yeah.
And it was kind of one of those things where it was just kind of, it was emotional because, I had to thank my dad again, and it was around Father's Day, and it was my birthday. And
everything.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, the fishing starts with the parents. If the parents don't get the kids into fishing, then they'll never get into it.
Yeah.
And if you get kids into fishing, they won't want to do anything else but fish.
And your dad is an important person in your life, and I love the way that story worked out. Again, we're talking to Ish Monroe, coming off a big win on the Mississippi River around Father's Day. And you were talking about the ups and downs of this season, Ish. What did this win mean for you from a response to what it's been like this year?
Well, you always want to win. And I have this weird deal where I go about every 6 years and I get a win on the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yeah.
And so it's a long time coming, and I just really don't want to wait that long to the next one. But it means a lot because I actually put a post on social media about the 3 different Elite Series trophies since the inception of the Elite Series, and I'm one of the few guys that actually has all 3.
Yes, I saw that post. Yeah, and for you folks out there, that's quite an accomplishment right there. And I know that
you're going to get the world's best at every tournament.
Yeah, at every tournament, and now you're out there center stage, and I know you don't look at it as any color or anything that comes to it, but you also represent a lot of kids that would like to do what you're doing, and you living that dream out, and it's still possible for kids to get out of where their environment was. That's what Mark was talking about before you. So talk about that as far as being the model that you need to be to help those kids get that where you are.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. There was drugs, there was gangs. I mean, there was pretty much everything possible for the urban youth to not succeed in life. And fortunate for me, I had fishing that kept me away from a lot of that stuff.
Amen.
And that's what it means a lot for me to see kids out there fishing, because I can tell you that there were so many times that there was a party going on or something for me to get into trouble, but I was at home in bed because I was going fishing the next morning.
Hey, I go.
Well, you looked up at two of my favorite guys, and that's Larry Nixon and Kevin Van Dam. You look at those two guys. I know those are guys that have played a influence in your life, the general, and then look at Kevin right there. So what's ahead for you now? What's coming up for you?
I'm actually ICAST coming up with the rest of you guys. And then from there, we've got Upper Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, which is another shallow water river fishery that I'm kind of looking forward to. And then we go to Thousand Islands after that, and mixing in some Major League fishing this fall. And it's just going to be a pretty cool winter, and I'm going to get a lot of saltwater fishing done.
Well, we appreciate.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we appreciate. And Ron will be at ICAST as our man down there. He's hard to miss. He's everywhere. He's the only Wong there is.
He'll be the guy sitting in the corner eating something.
No, he won't be. He and Ish will be sharing sushi together.
Okay.
When it comes down to it.
Yeah,
and
maybe
everything.
we'll do that.
Yeah,
but I've got to add something.
Right.
Hold on. Dave Gabbard has a question.
I've got to add. Well, not a question. But I got to add something to their wins. What a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
And being out, with our fish data collection units, when you're fishing like the Mississippi River, like Ish just won the tournament, and Mark up on the Missouri River on that big, that's a totally different animal than a landlocked reservoir.
Oh, yeah, that's not,
so that's tough.
Yeah, well, that's not like the Clear Lake in California.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
we
these
had
guys
3 to 4 feet of rising water over the course of the event on the Mississippi.
How much?
And Mark had gusts to 30+ mile an hour winds every single day.
Well, I'm sure that have you talked to him since he won?
Oh, yeah. Me and Mark talk all the time anyways. And, I was up there making posts before he had won, like, I hope he wins. And,
great.
I want to see him win, and I knew it wasn't going to be his first win. I mean, it might have been his first win, but it definitely wasn't going to be his last one.
No.
I mean, we talk all the time.
Well, just you two guys are I know a lot of kids out there. Hey, Ish, thank you for being with us, and we'll definitely stay in touch. Okay, buddy?
No problem. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you. We're going to take a break, Ron. We got to get out of here. Be right back. We'll talk to you later. All right. See you later. Bye-bye. All right. Let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray.